because yesterday marked 60 years since schools began desegregating in Alabama. It's a moment in history that took place right here in Huntsville, where Governor's Drive and Gallatin Street meet. Let's show you exactly what we mean. You live in the Rocket City, you're bound to pass through Governor's Drive, and for you, you may only notice its medical buildings. But for Sonnie Hereford IV, this road is paved with history.
60 years ago, my father and I walked these steps.
Hereford was only 6 years old on September 9th, 1963, when he walked hand in hand with his father, Dr. Sonnie Hereford III, on his way to begin first grade as the first black child enrolled at a public school in Alabama. But make no mistake, the journey wasn't easy.
And I remember a few of the stories that my father told me about things that happened, and the bomb threats and the death threats that we got at our home and so forth. But being only 6, and my parents protected me from a lot of the ugliness at that time.
Prior to this historical moment, his father worked alongside other civil rights leaders and was one of the plaintiffs suing the Huntsville school system to end segregation.
What they did was not just for themselves and not just for that time, but it was for all generations.
That's why 60 years later, Sonnie Hereford IV wants to honor his father, who passed away in 2016, by continuing the legacy of civil rights activism.
Passing the torch to different generations.
On September 9th, 2023, he walks silently with his family.
It feels like some responsibility, but also a really great honor and privilege.
Retracing the steps he and his father made for a better future.
I knew that what I was doing was for more than myself and more than my family even.
While acknowledging the work that still needs to be done.
I'm very happy to represent moving forward in the progress that we still have to make in the fight that is left to be fought.
It gives me hope to see this many people gathered and still thinking about that moment and celebrating it, because we still really have a lot of work to do here in Huntsville to make sure that our schools are equitable.
The desegregation case that was made against Huntsville City Schools in the 1960s has since turned into a consent order from the Department of Justice to further desegregate and address racial inequalities within HCS and in turn reach unitary status.
We're still optimistic about Huntsville. My grandfather was optimistic about Huntsville, and our family will continue to be optimistic about Huntsville and its future.
A walk down memory lane, or in this case, Governor's Drive, a step in the right direction.